When I picked up these 56mm 93A nanocubic wheels, I had this bowl in mind because this bowl is notoriously slippery. And ever since I got my 97A nanocubics, I've just loved those wheels. They're a perfect fit with the Andy Anderson board. I like the wide contact patch. I like the way they are asymmetrical, so they lock into the coping nicely on the back side, and on the front side, they roll over the coping very easily. Right now, I'm a nanocubic guy. I'm gonna be bouncing between my 97A nanocubics and my 93A nanocubics, depending on the terrain, depending on my mood. Let's see how they skate in this bowl.
In theory, because these are softer 93A wheels, they should grip pretty well to this slippery surface. I really like this bowl, but I've kind of avoided it after slipping out and slamming in it a while ago, but I was using my 97A wheels when that happened. And so far, these 93As are keeping me glued in just how I like.
Whoa! I'm trying to get my carve higher up in that back bowl there, because what I'd really like to do is a carving slash grind. Wouldn't that be sweet? Come up, just graze over the coping with the nanocubics and let those trucks do a little grind as I, carve back down into the bowl. These are feeling pretty good, but I don't think I'm actually getting any higher on my carve. It's counterintuitive, because the more speed you get doing a carve like that, the safer it actually is. But of course, it doesn't feel that way because faster seems more dangerous.
When you go faster, your momentum pushes you outward, which presses your wheels against the wall that you're carving. So more speed means more grip. And going too slow can mean stalling halfway up the wall, which is pretty scary when you're carving front side.
All right, there's also a couple of drop-ins I've never done here before that it's time to check off my list, including this weird quarter pipe over here. This quarter pipe wouldn't be weird at all if it wasn't for the tiny platform up there. Here we go. I really don't want to do this one either, but I'm afraid I have to. You could drop in from any angle. Holy moly, here we go. Then there's this little Euro gap that I've ollied down before. Let's see if I can work up the courage to do it again. Someday. Maybe before I start ollieing down that thing into the bank, I should just go off a regular ledge onto flat. The board turned in the air there. I want to stay as straight as possible. Straight ollie, straight landing, knees bent. That would be a 5-star ollie. All right, here we go. Did feel sketchy as hell for that split second in the air, but that was just the first one. So let's see if I can make it feel more comfortable, bend my knees into the landing, and make it not so sketchy. Oh. I know my form isn't the best yet, but it's just hard to focus on form when you're worried about just hanging on for dear life, and simply landing it feels like an accomplishment. All right, the other thing I want to try while I'm here is 50-50 grinds. I'll start with some ollies on and ollies off. I have an idea. I'll be right back.
A few moments later.
That's a start right there. Trucks didn't lock in, but I was in the position, just more up on the pad, you know? Anyway, I brought out my street setup because sometimes just being that much smaller, it seems a little easier to handle, to ollie for street type tricks like this. Yes! All right, now I'm gonna have to go back and review the footage. I think I was locked into a 50-50. That is freaking awesome. I know those are the smallest 50-50s you've ever seen, but they feel huge to me. They feel sick. I'm already losing steam. The park is starting to fill up, and there's a few more things I wanted to do in the bowl before I leave.